Welcome to Hassle-Free RE, the show where we share tips, tricks, and stories from the short-term rental industry and business alike. Hosted by Dave Menapace and Will Van Wickler. They'll help you navigate the exciting and ever-evolving world of short-term rentals. Whether you're a seasoned host or just starting out, they've got something just for you. In each episode, they'll bring you insider insights, expert advice, and real-life stories from hosts and industry professionals who have been through it all. They'll cover everything from maximizing your rental income and profits to creating unforgettable guest experiences and handling unexpected day-to-day challenges with ease. Are you ready to discover the secrets to running a successful short-term rental business without the hassle? Then let's get started. This is Hassle-Free RE.
Hello and welcome to another episode of STR Success. I'm Dave Menapace and joined here with Mr. Will Van Wickler. How you doing, Will?
I'm doing great. We're both somewhere different today, isn't that right?
Yeah, you go first. Where are you at?
I'm out in beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona for a Be Wealthy Mastermind. So it's currently, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning here, but we wouldn't miss this for the world. I'm fired up and, happy to be with you, man. So where are you based out of right now?
I'm in Toronto, Canada. So I'm up here. Those who know me well know that outside of just pure real estate and short-term rentals, I do a lot of work in the mindset space. What is that? Well, that'll be a topic for a different presentation. But I'm out here with several of my mentors and community up in Toronto at an event called Vision Maker. Really, the whole idea of it is taking our different lines of business and making them into sort of ideas for growth on them, making them a cohesive unit and getting everything moving in the right direction. So I should say in the same direction. Everything is going in the right direction. It's just nice when they're going at the same speed in the same direction. So that's what I've been working on. So I got up here, it's Thursday now, got up here on Sunday and I leave tomorrow. So it was a longer one, but definitely accomplished, which is always good.
And I saw you even have one of your team members with you, Jess. So shout out to Jess.
Yeah. Jess actually has some really, really cool projects coming along. So Jess is our director of operations, but she's got some really, really fantastic business ideas of her own that she's bringing to life where she can really help a lot of people. And so I'm super excited to support her on her journey. Of course, she's still working with us. She's still in the day-to-day, but I have a firm belief that everyone should get in the habit of having a side hustle that can produce the same, if not more, than your daily role. So making money is a good skill. That's something I've come to learn. And a lot of times, the more money you make, the more people you can help. And usually the more people you're helping along the way. So I'm all about it.
That's what it's all about. I know we're in alignment on that. That's why we do what we do every day. And that's why we work so hard for sure.
I love it. So why don't you drop the topic for today, my friend? What are we talking about?
Yeah, we're going to talk about cleaning, the good, bad, and ugly. We're seeing so many people struggle unnecessarily for, the cleaning topic. And having owned and operated multiple short-term rentals myself for a couple of years, Dave managing and consulting, hosting over thousands of stays, we've got this thing down, not to a perfect science, but we have a method and model that works. We want to talk about that today because we see a lot of people struggling and you really don't need to. So why don't we start with the bad? What kind of struggles are we seeing people have right now?
Well, and even before, I want to put a pin in that thought. That's the first thing I want to come back to. I think there's three things, right? There's three aspects, and think of them almost on like a triangle. And this really goes for anything.
Right.
There's quality, there's dependability and reliability, and there's price. And generally speaking, I've never seen it where you can get all three of those things at the same time. And that goes with any product. That's not just related to cleaning your short-term rental. And I think where the misconception comes is that you can have all three of those, right? Like a rock bottom, the highest quality in the market, and somebody who's so dependable there every single time. There's all these different adverse correlations between those different things. And I think the first thing we have to do is take a big step back, right? I think a lot of people are obviously used to interviewing several cleaners for their property. Oh, there you go. You found it. Nailed it. Nailed it. A lot of people are used to interviewing several cleaners for their property, which is great, just like you should for any, type of trade or anything like that. However, I think a lot of people forget about the relationship side of the people that you work with. And they view it as this really, really transactional thing, which is it's just the wrong way to go. I find that you and I have said this a million times. Cleaners are the lifeblood of your business. However, it's not uncommon to treat them like they're like happy that you're here, and it's really disappointing to me. And whenever I hear somebody having cleaning challenges, which we'll get into in just a moment, um, when you start to peel those layers back, usually there's owner's behalf regarding that pendulum that we just talked about. So, um, just an observation. I think, I have understood that for going on 6 years now, and yeah, we have had turnovers at cleaners, especially early on. But I'll say it's been close to 4 years where we've had zero turnover with cleaners, and we have these amazing relationships. Like some of them I'm really good friends with at this point. Some of them are like family. And there's a sense of community between us and our cleaning team, and we do have a true feeling of like we're in this together, and everybody is getting what they need out of this home to be satisfied. So just some food for thought, on some of the bad. I have seen, cleaners not show up. I have seen really, really poor quality at times just over the years, or like I've seen people complain about that. And I could go on about this forever. So if you want to jump in, just stop me.
Over promising, under delivering, saying that they
Yeah.
clean 5-bedroom houses in 45 minutes. And I appreciate you putting a pin in it, because I think a lot of that comes down to unrealistic expectations from owners treating their team like crap because they are the investor and it's, I'm the boss and you're the worker. And ultimately not listening or setting these houses up in a way that they're easy to clean. Right? Like that's a big problem I see is people are doing stuff and not thinking about, A, the guest experience, B, who's going to actually maintain and make sure there's quality involved in these activities through your properties. Right? So I see people really getting hurt with poor quality or poor cleaning, but your house is really challenging to clean, or you treat your cleaner like crap. A big thing we're seeing right now in the Facebook groups is people talking about these 12-page cleaning checklists. And if you need a checklist, Bill Faith said it the other day, you really shouldn't be using that cleaner, right?
Right. I do like it. And at the same time, though, it does offer a level of expectation. We do not create cheating checklists for our cleaners. One thing I was impressed.
Standard. Right? It's not, you need to fill this out every time, but there's a standard. I think there's a big difference between micromanaging and setting people up for success.
Yeah. I do appreciate for sure when like they come back to us and like I see that they've taken notes and that and so things don't get missed. And I do appreciate when they have like a checklist of their own. I was interviewing a cleaner for a home the other day out in a newer market that we're in. And they handed us like their standard checklist that they use at every house. And I was looking through it and was quite impressed. Now that's great. That's their checklist. That's something that they use. And I'm not saying like don't use a checklist. I mean, it can certainly help you create some level of expectation and understanding, but once again, cleaning is cleaning, organizing is organizing, replenishing is replenishing, right? So I think just make things as easy as you can for the cleaning team. Give them areas to store things. Give them at least a checklist of the supplies that you'd like to replenish in the home, so they can let you know when things are empty. And what I will say is, as you get to like the really big homes, like there's some markets, it's a good idea to pop your head into that house once a month and take a look at the inventory supply and take a look at just, you know, if everything looks as clean as you want it or need it to be, or hire somebody to do that role for you. It's not that you're looking over the cleaner's shoulder, it's just they do have a lot of other houses and things that they have to get done. And just because you find something also doesn't mean that they're doing a bad job. You know, I think all of us in our day to day can find some mistake that we've made. So, just again, some food for thought on that topic and that idea.
Yeah, and I think just to touch on the checklist one more time is something I've learned is it's really not something we should be doing unless we're professional house cleaners, right? Like my transaction coordinator, Amanda, I didn't make the transaction coordinating checklist because I don't know that as well as she does, right? So like there's probably things in your day to day that it's probably better for the professional to help you with and collaborate. So instead of saying, here's my checklist, it's, hey, for my properties, we have a high standard of excellence through the portfolio. We like to craft these standards so our cleaning team's on the same page and expectations are met. I'd like to help, work together and make a checklist together so it's realistic for you and I can understand what kind of goes into it. You're not coming off as a micromanager, but it's really, you got to seek first to understand, because a lot of these things are maybe not things you'd think about because you're not a professional house cleaner, right? Like these people,
Right.
they are professionals, right? They're not just cleaners. Well, the ones you should hire are professionals. So that's a big thing that I see is like, the person you talk to, they already have a list. Maybe you need to alter a little bit based on your portfolio or property, but it should be collaborative. It shouldn't be, here's your dry erase board. I need a picture of this every single time you flip the house. Good luck.
Right. Right. Yeah, totally. And something to try on for size too. This is sort of going to the cost side of it. I have certainly been more and more aware of the expenses for cleaning costs and like good cleaning services being much higher than what the markets can sustain for charging a guest. Especially for the really good cleaning teams, it's an awareness that I've had. And um, one way to potentially approach that for folks that are kind of in this pinch of like, well, now I'm getting charged $500 and there's no other house in this market charging more than 300. What am I going to do?
Which we see all the time in the Facebook groups of my cleaner just
All the
quit. I
time.
can't find anybody. My cleaner just tripled their fee. Nightmares like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah, my suggestion to folks is play around with the idea of switching to an hourly rate. It's something that is not super common in this market, in this industry, I should say. However, it might not be a bad idea. I've started to notice, especially for some of the really big houses in this slower part of the year, in the spring, which is generally slow for both beach and mountain properties. Uh, I'm getting these bookings for 4 or 5 people in a house that sleeps 15. 4 to 6 people, maybe 8. Maybe just try and be creative and talk to your cleaner and say, hey, can we switch this to an hourly and see how it goes, right? At the end of the day, if they're only at a property for 2 hours, uh, but like the expectation when the cleaning fee was made was that, it's going to be packed with 12 to 15 people every single time. Now, of course, it can go the opposite way and you may have to charge more, but it's just some ideas to sit with and play with. And the other thing I would say too is, if you allow dogs, like it's okay to charge a $200 to $300 pet fee. Yeah, it's expensive. However, it's cheaper usually than that guest boarding their dog. And that essentially is a cleaning fee. You can put that into a separate account and use that to pay for overages in cleaning, overages in cost if you ever need. So play around with the idea of an hourly rate. If you have a camera on your house and in a Schlage lock, you should have no problem seeing when the cleaner shows up and when they leave. And it may be some ways to bring alignment on the cost side of things.
I love that too, because what you said really hit a light bulb moment. It's not a common thing in our market. And our market is self-managing, boutique property management, co-hosting. But what's fascinating is you and I see it, the old school property managers, which, we kind of always laugh at, like not the most efficient, usually not optimizing, but they do some stuff right. And one of those things is I don't think any kind of old school property manager is paying somebody a cleaning fee, right? It is hourly 1099. So I think that's awesome that you brought it up. I didn't even think about that for my portfolio. And what an interesting way to do it, because you know what? Some people, and I'm finding in my business, like, they do not want the roller coaster 1099 commission income lifestyle that I have. They are fine making less with stability. So maybe you could find a great team member that would appreciate the stability of hourly. Should you be able to farm them enough work if you are a co-host, or maybe you have friends with other properties, instead of doing a flat rate. And it's not to, screw someone over by not having to make enough money, but it's just getting creative. I really, really like that, Dave. That's awesome.
Well, and it brings alignment too. If there's more guests, they're going to make more money than what a normal cleaning fee would be. Now, for you as the operator, you can go in and add additional costs, like cleaning costs per person that stays there, right? So let's say it's a house that sleeps 15. You could go in and say an additional $20 of cleaning for the stay per person after 10 people, right? So that right there, bring in an extra $100 that should help to offset the cost of having that larger amount of people stay. So there might just be some flexibility in that. A lot of people don't think about that. They just accept, the big cleaning fee that's handed to them. But again, it's a partnership. It doesn't mean it has to stay that way forever, but it might be something worth talking about.
And that's a great way to actually drive additional revenue. It's something I do on my smaller property that sleeps 6, but it's comfortable for 4. Is anything after 4, it's $25 a night extra. I've never gotten kickback, and I've seen really nobody else in the market do it, except I think you're doing it on the condo too now, and it drives more revenue. And ultimately it takes the cleaner more time, but it's more setup. So I think that's an awesome tip too, not only from the cleaning, communication, and relationship side, but to drive revenue and also incentivize our team members into a successful partnership.
Totally. Well, my friend, I think we got some things we got to run to. This was a really, really great one. We ended up going pretty good in this topic.
We could definitely talk forever. I think before we said we could do this, we could do a 3-hour webinar on this. But the truth is, communicate early and often, build a relationship, treat people with respect. I mean, it's the golden rule in business. I think, unfortunately, some people, they're all about the money, and just turn and burn. But that's not how you scale, and that's not how you win, right?
Totally. Well, I'm going to do a quick plug before we sign off. So lots of folks have heard at this point, we started Launchpad Consulting. Launchpad Consulting is specifically designed to help short-term rental operators and owners, helping folks identify and buy properties all the way up through building out their tech stack, launching and supporting them as they self-manage their property. So what's really cool is if you head on over to lp.consulting, so short for Launchpad, but lp.consulting, right there we have a free tech stack masterclass. I did a 25-minute walkthrough of all the tech we use, all the way from underwriting properties through purchasing items, through marketing channels, channel management, dynamic pricing, automated messages, like, man, you name it, it's in there. So managing cleaners. So it'll be really helpful for folks who are starting to get into the space and understand, like, what do I need to prepare myself with, and what do I need to really launch into this industry from a tech perspective. So go check it out. And the other thing is, over at Launchpad Consulting, that big get free STR masterclass right there. Boom, you do that, throw your email in, you'll get it right away. In the background there, that's a bunch of houses we actually own and manage. And the other thing is, we're actually hiring consultants. So if you're somebody that's interested in learning more about the short-term rental consulting space, we talked about side hustles at the beginning. If you want to make that into a side hustle, we do have a program for you. Right now we have 2 consultants that work for us. Well, actually, technically there's 4, but we've brought on 2 new consultants and really been helping them support their own business and their own own line of service there. So if you're interested, shoot me a DM. You can find me on Instagram, Dave_Menapace. You can find me on Facebook, Dave Menapace, or drop me an inquiry right there on lp.consulting, and we'll connect.
And I think it'd be actually pretty cool. Maybe we could bring on those consultants 1 week a month, just to talk about their experiences and their journey.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah.
Man.
Most of the folks are either learning how to co-host, or they are co-hosts, or they're their own operators. And as they get deeper into that, they start finding opportunities to deliver consulting, and we offer them the framework to be able to do that. But then they can also tap into me and some of our other coaches to be able to help support them. So it's a win-win for everyone.
Yeah. And just a plug, if you want to buy into a cost seg, but you don't want management, I send a lot of people to Dave, because that's a great way to get your cost segregation study in, self-manage. And a lot of people, they don't realize that they might not need a property manager. So it's nice to have that model and resource where some people are cool doing the homework DIY thing, which is how I got started. And some people want to hit the easy button, and that's the easy button in this industry. So
totally, we will not let you fail. I can promise.
That's awesome. That's the truth too. I've seen it
time and time again. And Will, how can folks find you if they want to buy?
Yeah, it's pretty easy to find me. Just go to my name, willvanwickler.com, willsellsmaine.com. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook. If you want to buy a home, sell a home, invest in real estate in Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont, we are the team to help you do it. So anything from first-time investors to experienced investors to maybe you want to sell a property and do a 1031 exchange, that's what we do every single day, and we're happy to help. So feel free to book a call, talk about the markets, and we'll find you a deal, and might end up connecting you to Dave. So it'll be a good time.
Boom. Awesome. All right, Will. Thank you, my friend. Great seeing you.
See ya.
And that's a wrap for this episode of Hassle-Free RE. We hope you found today's tips and stories as inspiring and useful as I did. Remember, success in the short-term rental industry is all about learning, adapting, and staying one step ahead. If you enjoyed the show, please take a moment to leave us a review or comment on your favorite platform. Your feedback helps us improve and reach more listeners like you. Plus, we'd love to hear your thoughts and any topics you'd like us to cover in future episodes. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And follow us at Hassle-Free RE on social media for more tips and updates. Thanks for tuning in. And until next time, keep it hassle-free.